human being.
Getting out into the field and seeing this kind of stuff firsthand, getting it into the discussion, into debate, and spending more time on this because it's such an interesting story.
And that's
It
what
really
the
is.
scientists at the Comet Research Group are offering, that people who contribute will participate in certain ways in this
That's
research
awesome.
in the future.
Well, we're all, what I was going to say is we're all human beings. We're a part of this planet. We are pedestrians walking along we're being carried by this planet. And all this stuff is our right. It's your right to understand what the history of this crazy rock has gone through.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing stuff.
And the perspective to understand this is like this. For 12,000 years, this story has been written into the landscape of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And only now are we able to step back and begin to see the big picture in tandem with ever greater detail.
Mm-hmm.
And what's emerging is really, it's a really wild tale, but the evidence is there to support it completely.
And this is the story I've told in Magicians of the Gods.
Mm-hmm.
This is recovering this lost memory.
It really is wild. And our time here on this planet has been confusing for so many reasons. And one of the big ones is not understanding how we got here. And that's one of the reasons why your book, I think, is so important to me. Just give you this new perspective of how this sort of civilization emerged. Another problem that I think we deal with all the time is light pollution. I think light pollution...
We never see the stars.
I think it's really a perspective blocker in a big way.
No, it absolutely is. Randall and I were having a discussion earlier about how ancient cultures related to the cosmos. As above, so below. They felt themselves connected with the cosmos. They made their monuments in alignment with key celestial bodies. They did it very carefully. There was a sense of bringing down the enchantment of the heavens onto Earth. In modern societies, we can't even see the stars. You live in the middle of a big city, the stars are gone. The light pollution just blots them out. You never think they're there, and you forget, actually, that you're part of a majestic cosmos. Everything about it is mystery. We are immersed in mystery from the moment we're born to the moment we die, and yet our society is telling us, oh, it's all very prosaic and dull, and it's just about production and consumption.
Everything's all explained, so you don't really need to worry yourself about it too much, because some authority somewhere has it all figured out.
No one has it all figured out. It's not possible. I think everybody owes it to themselves to go out into the desert in the middle of when you know there's a stretch where the moon is not going to be out and there's going to be clear skies, especially if you live in Southern California. You can get out to the desert pretty easy. Just get out away from all the cities and just look up, and it'll freak you out. It'll freak you out because it's one of those things that you kind of really take for granted, because most of the time the sky is just a dark black featureless thing with a couple little white dots that aren't really that compelling. But when you get out there and you see the actual Milky Way itself, you go, oh, holy shit.
Well, see, now we could have, every year there's probably a dozen high-altitude events that could have been witnessed by ancient peoples that we are completely oblivious to because of our urban existence, because of light pollution, because nobody is really looking at the sky. But these high-altitude events would be essentially equivalent to like Hiroshima-sized bombs going off 20 miles up.
And we missed
just
those?
outside, especially like if it's in the daytime and you're not looking right up there.
Oh, that's right.
You're not going to see it.
Daytime.
And at night, if you're living in the city, if you're inside, the light pollution, by the time it happens, it's over. But if you're out in a completely wilderness area where you've got visual access to the stars and you're aware of that and you're constantly aware of the presence of the sky, you're going to see much more of that kind of thing happening. Then, if the cosmos decides to get a little bit more active, which it apparently does from time to time, suddenly the sky is now becomes a major factor in your existence, your tribal existence, your cultural existence, especially if in those episodes you have multiple fireball type events that could be on the scale of anywhere from Chelyabinsk